Right, hi guys. Okay, so right, I kind of got my computer sorted out slightly. I don't know what happened. I tried to do a system restore, and the system restore was going like for ages and ages and ages. So I kind of like, oh, screw this. And you ain't supposed to like shut down the computer while you're doing a system restore, but I did, and it stopped the restore. I think. Well, it did because when I got back onto the computer, it said system restore failed to restore itself. It must have done something because I've got the CCTV DVR webcam working back on this computer. Now I had to change the monitors back over, and when I got it working again, I changed the monitors over again, but it wasn't as clear as it is on this one. So changing the monitors over was a bit of a waste of time anyway. So the old monitor is back, and the monitor that was on the DVR, the original one, is back on the DVR. I've got the CCTV camera software working. How, what, where, when? How it happened, I don't know, but it's working again. Thank you. So, like, I was having a conversation. God, fly. I was having a conversation about the Dybbuk boxes and the ghost haunted dolls. So I'm going to continue with that. It's 1:30 in the morning. Might be half hour, I don't know, but I'm definitely going offline by 2:30. Because although my daughter's not coming around today now, I'm going to go out. And I told her, if you're not coming out, I'm going to go out. So they're going to come around next week. So the situation we've been with haunted dolls, right? How can you tell if they're haunted? There's several ways. If you're a sensitive and you're in the paranormal, then you can sense if they're actually haunted or not. Okay. Rose, my dear friend, actually can tell if a doll is haunted via looking at them on like eBay or a website or something like that. Yeah. And if she feels that there's something, definitely attached to them, then she gets them. Now, I've had many dolls off Rose, and to be honest with you, I think with a spirit attached to the doll, if they're going to give that activity, they'll give the activity to who they feel like giving activity to. I suppose it's like choice. Let's say I go get an email from someone saying, this doll's really, really like active. I've been getting so much crazy stuff from it. I need to get rid of it. Will you take it? And I say, yeah, okay, I'll take it. Send it to me, and I'll do some like research on a doll and do some sessions on a doll, and see if I get any kind of like activity from it. Now I could be using like devices, K2 REM pod, DC box, EVP. I'll even take photos of it in a dark and see if we get anything, especially with full spectrum cameras. They can actually bring a different kind of like spectrum light into the camera that we can't see with our own physical eyes. That's why on eBay they sell them hacked. And to tell if it's full spectrum, it's like a pinkish kind of glint on the actual video picture. So that's how you can tell if it's like a hacked full spectrum. You can actually buy full spectrums, without them being hacked, actually like manufactured as they are. Now, let's say old Chester here. Now, I told you how I picked him up. It felt like an energy was pulling me all the way to him from the bus over in Mitcham, and I had to get him. Now, let's just say this is a different clown doll, right? And someone has been given this doll from a friend, a neighbour, or a family member. And as soon as they got it, all kind of like weird activity started. Like you heard like giggling, you heard like footsteps. You might hear doors opening and shutting. You might hear knocks and taps and bangs. You might see flashes of light. You might see like orb activity, and you never had it before until you got the haunted doll. Now, if you're getting all that, then yeah, it's got to be something attached to the doll. Now, what if you actually got rid of the doll for like a week? All right, go to someone or locked it up somewhere, and the activity suddenly stopped as quick as it came. Now, then you're going to know that it was the doll. So what you're going to do with the doll? If you don't want that activity occurring anymore, you're going to get rid of the doll, aren't you? Of course you are, especially you're not in the paranormal. But if you're willing to have that activity because you are in the paranormal, then you're going to get it all the time. Well, I say all the time. You might not get it all the time. It might kind of be like that for a week, couple of weeks, maybe a couple of months, and suddenly it might just stop as quick as it came. Or it might even get worse. Could get chronically worse, that it might affect you in such a way that, you might have to get someone in to find out what's causing activity, if you don't know if it's the doll. And you probably have to get like a priest or someone to do a house blessing. Maybe an exorcism if it gets that crazy. But don't get, not all dolls are haunted. There's like a very minimal amount of dolls that could be haunted. Probably like 1-2% of dolls that are haunted. Unless you can prove a doll's haunted, then you can't say it's haunted. Unless you're getting activity with a K2 meter, a REM pod, EVP, you've seen the doll even moving, then that, is like pure evidence. But if you ain't got none of that, then you can't class this as a haunted doll. Now, only a very minimal amount of my dolls have moved. Well, not really actually moved, they kind of like falling down on their own for no apparent reason. That doesn't mean the doll's haunted. Could be because a spirit was interacting with the doll. It could even be the spirit that may be attached to the doll, wanted the doll to move or fall down or something. Because I have actually got evidence of the dolls falling down a couple of times in the kitchen. Now, how can you tell what doll is more active than the other? I suppose by the more activity you get from, like, you might get more activity from this one than you would from that one. So the thing being is that some spirits might really want to interact with you and try to get that acknowledgement, while some might just, want that kind of like that one acknowledgement, and once they've been acknowledged, they might just go dormant, quiet for the rest of the time. And then if they go quiet, doesn't mean they've left. They just think, right, okay, like, they've acknowledged me, I'm not going to scare them anymore. I'm going to leave them in peace, and I'll stay here for a while, and then probably when I'm happy to go, I'll move on, kind of thing. And that's what I believe that some spirits can do. Now, you could get a doll. You could even buy a doll, which you wouldn't even realise is spiritually active. You could go and buy a doll from a charity shop because you like it, or you might want to buy it for a friend or your daughter, and it looks like an innocent little doll, and you pay for it, you bring it home, and it's all quiet for a little while. Then suddenly the activity kicks off. Why? Maybe because they're a bit upset for being sold. and coming into a new house. Maybe Dad's happy at the charity shop or the antique store, something like that, you know. I can't read my chat all that well. I don't know why, but my screen has kind of gone like really weird. It's like a small screen. Like the text is very hard for me to read. And I'm trying to find a way of actually like making that text bigger again, but I can't. Hey, how's it going, Chris? So like, you know, I've had stuff even from Christopher where he sent it down to me. And, you know, I might have had like the odd EVP, maybe the odd hit on a K2 meter. And that's it. It's gone quiet. Because it's probably like reacted to my request in like asking them to like let me know that they're there. And once they know that I've asked them and they've been good enough to let me know they're there, that's it. You know, they might not even want to ask. They might not even want to interact with you anymore. You know, if I was to die myself tomorrow and I attach myself to a certain object and that object was given to someone, yeah, whether it been a paranormal or not, I would probably kick up a little bit of a activity in hope that they will, in one way, know that that object's haunted. No, once they recognised that that object may be haunted, and they kind of like said, "Yeah, okay, you know, if there's spirit on this doll, you know, we've now like acknowledged you. Can you stop?" I'll probably stop. I won't give them hell. The only people I'd give hell to is someone who's been caught on this shit. But I wouldn't give them hell to make them like go crazy and like, you know, want to do something stupid to themselves. And there are spirits that would do that. You know, there are spirits out there who will try to possess you in one way that they want you to die. I wouldn't do that. I'd give them a little bit of hell, you know, for payback kind of shit, but I wouldn't go that far to make them go completely do-daddy crazy and they want to harm themselves. I won't do that. I wouldn't do that to me worse enemy, actually. But with dolls, you know, I believe there's spirits attach themselves to dolls because it is like lifelike looking kind of like object. We want to be remembered. So we attach, or many people attach themselves to dolls. Now, how many dolls out there are really active? Not many. So otherwise we'd be seeing a shitload of videos up with so-called haunted dolls. And maybe some of the people who own haunted dolls are either too scared to release the videos, or they don't want to release the videos in case they think it might scare other people and stop people buying dolls, or they might just like want to be doing their own research and not releasing anything until they feel like they're ready to release it. I wouldn't be surprised. You know, like I've got like that audio recorder, which I had recording for 10 hours. I'm not going to listen to 10 hours, no way. Unless you can remember what time, I could probably download it on the computer and then like try to find it. But I do get a lot of whispering in here. You know, I've had EVPs where I've just run it for about an hour and I've woken up and turned it off and played back. You're hearing like little low voices, you know, kind of like whispers and stuff like that. And don't get my, well, I'm not saying it's haunted, but it's active time to time. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Like last night, you know, when I was trying to get sleep, DVR camera was on. Yeah, I was snoring, but before I actually fell asleep, I could hear movement in here. That's why I kept like doing that last night, you know, because like I could hear things moving about. And before I did get to go to sleep, my bloody DC box went flying on the floor for no apparent reason. Now, I don't think I touched it, but I've got to check back on that video. And it was around about 2 o'clock, and I've still not checked it because I've been sorting this bloody computer out tonight. Because my DVR camera, one of them's packed up. Then the software packed up to run DVR on PC so I can screen share. That wouldn't work, but I've got it working now. Just hoping I'm going to start screwing up again. But with dolls, yeah, it can be a kind of a touchy subject, really, dolls, because like many people will say, well, I don't believe dolls can be haunted. Well, many people will turn around and say, well, oh, yes, they can, because I've got a haunted doll. But can they prove the doll's haunted? That's the problem. You know, because like they bring a doll in and they're getting a few hits on a K2 meter, and maybe on EVP. It doesn't mean the doll's haunted. It could have been a spirit that's been brought in with the doll, and you know, it's just using the doll as like a hitch. You know, it's just hitchhiking a lift off a doll, and now it's in someone's like home. They can detach themselves and do whatever they want to do. You know, the only time I will say a doll is haunted 100% if the doll actually moves. You know, we've seen videos where dolls have moved. Even Simon James had a doll which moved like a quarter way. His head just went like that within like 20 seconds or whatever, you know. Now, could that have been the doll that's haunted? Maybe. Maybe not, because Simon was conjuring up some dark energies, and maybe the dark energy decided, hey, let's scare them. Let's jump on that doll and make that doll move. It doesn't mean the doll was actually haunted itself. You know, if he's pulled up some dark energy, then they could have used that doll as a vessel to actually make it move to try to scare Simon and the viewers at the time. Now, if the doll suddenly starts getting up and walking, then that's crazy last night. Yeah, that's definitely haunted, and it's poltergeist, you know, a poltergeist ghost that's making it move. And it doesn't have to be standing up and walking. It could just like be lifting its arm up or turning its head or something, you know. So, you know, I believe what they do is that they use the dolls as a vessel and create the activity. And once they've created the activity, people are going to turn around and say, well, yeah, that's haunted. That doll's haunted. Which I suppose it could be in one way, but it might not be in another way because they're just using the doll as a vessel to come through and do what they need to do. And like, you know, if they want to like start banging doors and flashing lights and stuff like that, that's one strong energy, you know, and they don't need a doll to do that. They can just like use a doll as a vessel, and once they're in that property, they can release themselves and let hell loose. So, my opinion that are dolls haunted? I would say a percentage, maybe 5%, if that, dolls are haunted throughout the whole world, you know, because like we're not seeing that pure evidence, you know. It's scientific research we're trying to, you know, gather. And if we can prove a doll is actually haunted, then it's going to be kind of crazy ass, you know. It's like, you know, Annabelle, you know, that I believe is haunted. You know, it's caused so much grief in so many homes. It's now locked up in a glass case. But even when it's in a glass case, you know, in the museum, people still feel the negativity. They feel afraid. They hear like tapping on the glass. Right? That's crazy, that doll. And even Robert the doll is, you know, supposed to be very, very haunted. Like the one I was talking about, the one which was on one of the news on TV. You know, they're talking about the doll and it's on a rocking chair. And, you know, the woman's saying, like, I've had this doll for so long, it's been causing all this activity, blah, blah, blah. And as they're talking about the doll, the rocking chair starts moving. Now, was that the doll that was haunted that was making the rocking chair rock, or was the rocking chair haunted? Where did they get the rocking chair from? No, it doesn't mean it was the doll. It could have been the doll, possibly it was the doll. But if it wasn't the doll, then it could have been the rocking chair, or they could have just brought something in with them. A spirit can like jump on and attach themselves to you, and you may not feel like there's a spirit attached to you. And when they're in a certain location, they want to like start communicating. They can detach themselves and attach themselves onto something different, like the rocking chair, make the rocking chair move. So it's kind of a hard topic to talk about, haunted dolls. But I do believe there is a fraction of dolls out there which are very haunted. And I'm not saying that the spirits attached to them are like evil, negative, demonic. I suppose there's like, at that 5%, I'll probably say like 1% is like possibly negative, demonic, evil intent, which is attached to the doll. And the 4% is just like, normal spirits trying to like cause the activity to be acknowledged that they are attached to the doll. You see what I mean? Now, Dybbuk boxes. Actually, people go, and if a doll is haunted, why would people go crazy and sell them on eBay for a high amount of money when they might not even be, haunted? Because as I said, like, people put a story behind a doll, making it sound like it's haunted when it isn't, and they will rip you off on eBay in hope that someone will buy a so-called haunted doll when it isn't. Unless you've got that proof, that evidence, if you've got a K2 meter, that doesn't even mean that it's still like a doll is active. Because anything could manipulate a K2 meter, but if you've got EVPs, you've got a camera facing the doll, you can see like all activity shooting in and out of it. And even if the doll does kind of like move, then that's enough evidence, I suppose, for someone to believe in it and probably buy it. But why would people sell dolls that are supposed to be haunted to people who don't know what they're doing? I'm pretty sure, there's a lot of people who buy haunted dolls thinking they're haunted just to see what activity they get, and a lot of these people aren't in the paranormal. And I think what happens is that when they do buy one, it's the fear that sets in, that little knock. They think it's the doll that's caused it. Oh yeah, the doll's haunted. I just heard the knock. That don't mean shit. It could be someone knocking on your wall next door. It could be someone moving about. It could just be the house settling down. It could be a rodent. You might have a little problem with your heating and it's knocking. That's what it could be, and people just go crazy thinking it's always the doll's haunted. No, they don't sit and consider it could be something else in the house. It just don't make sense, and like when people do try to sell haunted dolls for, God knows for how much amount of money, that's just ripping people off. Especially when they're not really haunted and you're just putting a story behind it. Now, if it is a real haunted doll and they got proof that it is haunted, video evidence, EVPs, a complete background story of where the doll came from, what kind of activity they've had, how long they've had the doll, how long the activity's been going on, where the doll came from, all that kind of information, then yeah, I could understand that. And then it may be worth actually considering buying, depending on the price. But if someone actually bought a doll in and it's really causing activity and they're not in the paranormal and they just want to get rid of the damn thing, they'll either give it to a paranormal group or they would probably list it on eBay, but they'd let it go for a very cheap price because they want to get rid of it, because they ain't going to have it sitting there, days, weeks, months, hoping that someone's going to buy it when they get all that activity. They're going to put a quick message on, explain what's been going on, and a low price will prove that, they want to get rid of it quick because there must be something going on. And that's what Rose told me. If you see a doll that's going cheap and there's a background story and you're able to contact the person, ask them exactly what's going on, if they've got any kind of like video proof or audio proof, and they can turn around and say yeah, and they can send you the files, then that's when you may have a haunted doll. Dybbuk boxes is another thing. You know, how many Dybbuk boxes are out there? People will make a Dybbuk box purely just to make money out for the paranormal. And I know I said all this earlier, but just in case no one was watching, but a Dybbuk box can be easily constructed. I do have a box somewhere. What do I do that wooden box? I've lost it already. Oh, it is. You know, it doesn't matter what size the box is. If I wanted to make some money and rip someone off, which I would never do, I could make that into a Dybbuk box. All I need is an old picture, stick an old picture in there, maybe some herbs, a little bit of sage or something, some bones, some crystals, maybe a lock of hair. I could put some like weird text on the sides to make it look like it's some kind of like conjuring text on there, or some kind of like binding text, put some Latin on there or something like that. Then all I've got to do is cover it with wax and put it on eBay saying like, you know, this is the Dybbuk box. It came from an estate sale. Since I've had it, I've been getting so much weird activity. Lights been flashing, bangs and knocks, and hearing like, you know, footsteps, doors opening. I could put anything I want, making people believe that is the cause of my haunting. And that story is going to sell. And if someone's stupid enough to listen or even read that story and believe in it, I could get quite a bit of money for it. You know, I know Rose bought some of the Dybbuk boxes off, you know, and gave them to me as a gift. And I've opened them and I had nothing from them. You know, people saying, don't open it, you know, you might unleash something really dark and negative and evil. Nothing. Yeah, but it might just be dormant, you know, give it a couple of months, it might start coming out, you know, it might start giving you a shitload of activity, it might like try to possess you. I've had all that shit even before I had the boxes sent to me. So that ain't gonna happen. But if I wanted to, I could make that into a Dybbuk box. Hey, if I knew how to conjure a negative spirit, maybe I could actually conjure one up and actually trap it in there. You know, and once it's trapped in there, and I've put all the bits and pieces in there before I closed it up. And so I now bind that spirit in this box. And when I've actually done the binding prayer, quickly slap it down, put the catch down. Can't get out, can it? No. Cover it with wax. You know, the whole box with wax. So it definitely can't get out. But if a ghost can walk through a door, I'm pretty sure it can walk through a box. Which I don't understand, you know. If it's that high in energy and content in wanting to seriously haunt someone and give them so much negative energy, I'm pretty sure they're able to get out of a box somehow. Unless the binding prayer does actually bind them inside there. And they can't get out unless you open and cut around the wax and you say, right, okay, you know, I don't believe it's haunted. And you take the wax off, you open the catch, and you see all of this stuff in there, and suddenly you're like, and it has happened, like the energy changes straight away, and then within like hours you get a shitload of activity. Because the energy that's been trapped in the box could be like building up all the time, and there's so much energy in the box that once it is released, it don't even take no time for you to get that activity. But I have seen people selling Dybbuk boxes on eBay, and they put a little story behind it. When you send them when you go to their contact details and ask them if they got any video proof or audio proof, they do one or two things. One, say no, I didn't record it at the time. I've got no EVPs. You buy it as it is. I'm pretty sure that it's definitely haunted. It's the way they actually communicate back with you on the actual message you send them. And if it is like, it's really like crazy and it is a really haunted Dybbuk box, they're going to be willing to send you that information. Now, if you don't get a reply, then it's either they can't be asked or there's no attached to that box. It's just like a bullshit story. So whether it being a doll or a Dybbuk box, unless they got the proof, video proof, EVPs, some kind of like photography proof, because if there's a doll, which, if let's say one of my dolls is like really spiritually active, and you can see like orbs coming out of that doll all the time, in and that, it's always that doll, then that, I believe, could be evidence of something going in and out of that doll. Orb, some kind of like white mist. Hey, you never know, you might even see some kind of like apparition come out from the doll. You don't know. But the people out there are scamming the paranormal. They will rip people off because they know the paranormal is a big field. And if someone wants something, they're going to go and buy it, especially if they think it's haunted. Even some new groups that appear, and they've only started like 2 weeks ago. Oh, let's buy a haunted doll. I'm pretty sure we're going to get more evidence from that. We're going to get more activity. No, not unless it really is haunted and it's been proven haunted. If it's an ad on eBay and they're asking £20-30 for it, and there's just a story behind it, nah. You need that proof. You need that evidence. Don't get me wrong, there probably are dolls out there. There probably are little Dybbuk boxes out there which have been constructed and holding spiritual energies inside of them. But where are they? Because you're not seeing many on eBay. You're not seeing many on video. So it's more of a chance that you're going to get something that may have some kind of like spiritual attachments to them or entrapped in them. Like, because you bring a doll in to your home and weird stuff starts happening, it doesn't mean the doll's actually haunted itself. It could just be like a spirit is like jumped onto the doll as a vessel, and now it's in a new home. It can release itself, and that's it. You may think the doll's haunted when it isn't. And then if the doll was haunted, they can still detach themselves, and they can like move on to something else. You might say, right, fuck this doll's definitely haunted. I'm going to get rid of it. If that spirit is like a mean ass motherfucker, and they want to stay, they will stay. It doesn't matter if you get rid of the doll, because they can detach themselves from that doll and attach themselves to something else in your home. And you may think that you got rid of a haunted doll and you think that the activity is going to stop. Well, maybe it might stop for a little while, because the spirit's going to play, they're going to say, well, like, now they're getting rid of the doll. Let's pretend that, the activity is going to stop for a while, give it a couple of weeks, then we're going to start up again and make it, like, even more worse. And when the activity arises again, you're thinking, well, hang on, I just got rid of that haunted doll. So why am I getting activity again? Because the doll wasn't haunted, it's just used as a vessel. And you got rid of the vessel, now it's attached itself to something else. Ghosts or spirits can't jump in and out of things, They can, like, let's say, like Chester, for instance. If there is a spirit in here, he could jump out of it and then jump into Tina's doll. Now, then he could jump out of Tina's doll and jump onto something else, like a clock. Now, what you're going to do, keep getting rid of things, because you're getting, like, a little bit of activity from them. If they want to kind of, like, detach themselves and move on to something else, they could be doing it continuously, What you're going to do, get rid of the whole house full of stuff, and have an empty shell and hoping that it's gone. It can attach itself to a light switch, a doorknob, it can attach itself to anything, The other thing I was going to talk about was Ouija boards. Now, Ouija boards are dangerous things if you don't know what you're doing. Of course, many of us do believe it can open a portal to the underworld, to the spirit world, to hell, to heaven, whatever. And if you're talking to spirits for that board and they tell you things that other people don't know, or they do know, like, let's say they tell me something regarding Charmy, and Charmy's, like, sitting there watching and listening, and they give me a message to give to Charmy, and she's turning, fucking hell, how did he know that? Now, there's two, maybe three ways. I've either researched Charmy and her family. Charmy's probably told me something in the past and I've remembered it. Or three, the spirits are actually able to tell me stuff. And if they're able to tell me stuff that only Charmy knows, that's kind of, like, crazy, because, like, she's going to turn around and say, well, how the fuck did he know? He doesn't know that. It's not on the internet. Because, everyone's got stuff about themselves and the family and friends and boyfriends and husbands and wives, everything like that on the internet. Because we always, like, kind of, like, say things what we don't mean to say. I'm always saying shit about myself, which I shouldn't say about myself, but I do. So, like, if, for instance, someone never gives out information about their family, it's always kept locked up inside themselves, and suddenly someone comes along and they do a Ouija board and starts giving out this information regarding one of their family friends, and this person, like, Charmy's going, how the fuck does he know that, and she turns around and says, Steve, how did you know that? Well, I don't know that. It's what the spirits are telling me. And she might say, well, like, ask him this and ask that, trying to get more information. And that information could actually back up what she knows. Or she might just turn around and say, okay, Steve, that's enough. I don't want you asking them anything else. I want you to tell them to stop. And I've got to stop. And even if I stop, they might move on to someone else and say, well, okay, won't give no more information out to Charmy. Let's start on with Ian or Christopher or Bloody Mary or someone, Now, I've done Ouija board sessions in the past and I've given that information towards people. Not many, a good few percentage of it, it's been kind of like on the spot. I didn't know it. When they've asked, how did I know? I just, well, Abby's told me, because Abby is a higher spirit. It's more of an angel, and she can go, everywhere in the spirit world. And if she's able to like find out information regarding someone, she'll probably be able to do it. Now, when I'm doing live streams, Ian's always asked me, like, well, is there anyone here with me? And sometimes Abby will turn around and say, well, I don't know, I've not been there, so I can't say. And I'll just say to him, don't know. Abby doesn't know at the moment, and he'll be okay with that. But then she might have the time to quickly nip over and say, yeah, his great grandma's there, sitting watching him. And, that's just the information I'm getting. It doesn't mean it's like true or not. I'm not saying that spirits lie. Some spirits do lie. They'll lie to you to, try to get you to be kind of friendly with them. And once you gain their trust, then that can be a bit dangerous. Because like, once you gain their trust and they've gained your trust, that's when a lot of negativity can probably occur, especially like when kids are involved. Spirits can actually interact with kids and gain a kid's trust. And once the kids trust that spirit, they've opened that particular doorway for them to come in and cause living hell in that family. But when I'm getting this information from Abby, to me it's just hearsay information. Why is she telling me this information? Why am I passing this information out to people? Is it something that's meant to be done? Does Charmy, Mary, Ian, or whoever needs to know this? Is it supposed to happen? Hell, I don't know. I'm just giving out the information that she's telling me. It's not me telling you from my inner self. It's what I'm getting from the spirit world. And the spirit world is telling me to tell you something, whether being true, false, or in between. I'm only passing that information on. I'm not, like, if it's wrong, then it makes me look an idiot in one way, because I just told you something which you now just said isn't right. It's never happened, or no one lived there by that name, or nothing like that has ever happened, kind of thing. So because I'm wrong, it doesn't mean I'm totally wrong, because the spirits have told me to tell them. So it's the spirits that are wrong, not me. I'm just passing on the information. But the thing is, even though it may not have happened there at that time, it could have happened in a previous time. And it could have been someone else with the same name that may have lived there. Coincidental, maybe, I don't know. But what I get from the Ouija board or a pendulum is what I'm being given via my spirit guide, my angel, Abby, or Tina, or Dougie, or someone that decides that they want to come through, a loved one of someone, and tell me what they need to tell me to pass that message on. Now, say I'm not going to be right all the time. I might be 50-50. I might be 25% right and 75% wrong. I might be 100% right. I don't know. It's just the information I'm getting from the Ouija board for the spirits. And if you don't close the Ouija board down properly, you could leave a doorway open for some nasty spirits coming, and they might not even just want to talk to you. They might come through to give you that nasty activity that you don't want. They may even come in and try to wreck your life. They may even try to come in and make you feel suicidal. They might even make you harm yourself. They might do anything. So when you're doing a Ouija board, you definitely need to close it down. I got moaned at and shouted at once because people said I didn't close it down. And I know I did, but they said I didn't. So I've got the Ouija board out, open it up again, and then I closed it down a second time. And they're going, right, that's better, So when I use a Ouija board now, I always say goodbye 4 times. I used to do it 3 times, but now I do it 4 times. Saying goodbye once is good enough, I suppose, but I'm more kind of extra careful because I don't want that board being left open. And I did say the other night, maybe I should leave the board open for 24 hours, see what happens. But people say, no, I shouldn't be doing that, because like you don't know what could come in within them 24 hours. You might think it's a good spirits coming through and queuing up to actually want to talk to you, but they could be negative spirits queuing up, want to take their turn, to cause you that negativity, that harm, whatever. So it's kind of like, So I don't think I'd actually leave it open. Like, I might walk away from the ball for a few minutes, go to get a drink or go to the bathroom. But I'm pretty sure I've got enough spirits here, positive ones, to hold back anything negative. But yeah, there has been an occasion where, you might have had one nasty one come through and start like trying to take over the Ouija board and start a little bit of shit with you. But, you kind of like demand them to go away. You don't want them there. You ask your spirit guides, your helpers, your angels to come down and remove them. You do like a couple of prayers and hope that will actually send them back from where they come from. But Ouija boards can be dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. And I think like you need to be more open when you're doing a Ouija board to allow the positive spirits come in to communicate with you. You don't want to open it in a negative way, because if you're in a negative form or negative mood, you're really angry and pissed off or something like that, that can bring in something even negative itself. And, if you don't concentrate and you don't close the ball down properly, that negativity that you've brought through because you're being negative yourself could be like roaming around your flat. And because you don't close the ball down, it's not gone back from where it's come from. See what I mean? CD, you're lost. Get a map. Get a compass. Well, I've had like some creepy stuff, as I say, like it doesn't mean that the house is haunted. See, with haunted things, yeah. Now, even if they're in a museum, it does, to me, mean that they are still attached to those haunted items. Because, like, if I was attached to an item, yeah, and I was like causing a lot of activity, and I was enjoying myself doing that activity against a family in a home, and then I get to find out that they're going to give that item away that I'm attached to. If I'm that evil in content and like negative, I'm gonna say, so you think you can get rid of me that easy? No. I'm going to detach myself to that object and attach myself to something else in the house. And when they get rid of the original item, they think everything's going to be like cushy, it's going to stop. So they may give that item to a museum or Zach Bagans or some other kind of like paranormal investigator that takes it off your hands, and they've seen exactly what it has been doing. They lock it away in a cupboard or a glass case. It don't mean that it's still active. It could be, it could still have some of the residual spiritual energy attached to it, and it still could probably do, minor things to make you think it's still active. Because I do believe that a spirit can actually split its energy into several objects. Let's say you got several boxes and you want to affect several different families. You could probably be able to do that by splitting your energy up and focusing on one particular family, then you put more energy into that particular box. And then maybe like once you've built up enough energy in that particular box, you could like go to the other boxes and like top them up. It's like, you know, you get a glass of water. If you're thirsty, you're going to top your glass up and continue drinking, aren't you? I suppose that's like with the spirits as well. If they feel like they need to keep giving active spiritual interaction, they're going to need the energy, aren't they? So they're going to have to like build up the energy and continue doing what they're doing. No, like I said, with haunted houses, don't mean that they're haunted all the time, you know. If a spirit's going to be giving you that much activity, where's he going to get all the activity? You know, where's he going to get the energy to cause all that activity? You know, a lot of haunted houses, what they're supposed to be haunted, ain't haunted. You know, what you can also be doing is generating your own negative energies. That's why they say like poltergeist is where you create it from your own energy. It's not like as a spirit energy from a living person. It's the energy that you've locked up inside you from like stress, depression, anxiety, anger, hate, and like, you know, you kind of like built all that energy inside you, and one day you kind of like release it without knowing, and it's everywhere, you know. And just like thoughts, you know, like, oh, I wish I could strangle that woman, and you know, your energy that you released could actually be doing that to that person, actually strangle them. So I watched one of the shows last night, Living with Evil, I think it was, or something like that, because they've got like a lot of paranormal shows on one of the TV stations I get here. Yeah, got my haunted home. You got like the ghost that stalked me. You know, you got several programs, Paranormal Survivor. You got like about 6-7 different paranormal programs running after each other on one of my channels. And I was, you know, I've been watching them, and it's telling you a story about a guy who is actually living with his wife, and his wife is going through a lot of like crap. You know, she's been like strangled, she's been like pulled under the water in the bath. She's got bruises and stuff like that. And what it is that she's thinking it's her husband, because like a paranormal investigator came around and said, well, if he's like locked up with hate and negativity, he could actually be generating that. But what it was, the true side of it was that there was a guy who lived in the house before him, and he was cheating on his wife, and he was cheating like quite a lot of times. He was actually videoing like what he was doing with these different women, and he locked all these videos up in a case, right? And you know, every time the guy was watching a video, because like what happened was that the guy who was cheating on his wife died in a car crash, yeah, but he hid all the videos up, yeah. But this new man and wife moved in, and the wife was being affected all the time. And it's only when her husband was downstairs watching these videos which he found, but he only found one at the time. The wife didn't say anything about the paranormal experiences she was having, and her husband didn't say anything about the tapes that he found. But when things was going crazy, they brought a paranormal investigator in, and she went and told him what was going on, and they thought it was him, where he was generating like the activity by locking himself away and like causing hate and negativity and stuff like that. But it wasn't. It was the spirit of the dead man that was like generating it all. And what happened is that the guy told his wife, well, I've seen this video and I've found a load more videos, and she turned around and said, well, like, you know, since you've been watching those, I've been having all this activity. So they decided to get all these videos, put them in a bin and burn them. And after burning all the videos, all activity stopped. And what it was the spirit of the dead man was causing all the activity. It was making the guy feel a bit like anger because he was watching all this video of this guy cheating on his, you know, on his wife. Be hard to explain, but they actually burnt all the videos, and after they burned the videos, all the paranormal stopped. The wife and husband got more and more like in love with each other, and they ended up having 2 kids and having a happy family. But sometimes they might let loose and like think, well, you know, I need to let that secret out. I need to tell people. So, you know, you got spirits that can give them negative vibes, and you might have a positive spirit that only wants to come clean, and he's got to cause some kind of activity to let you know what happened before he died. You know, he wants to pass on a message or something. But anyway, I'm going to shut up. It's 2:30. I'll do a stream, probably Thursday or Friday. Hello, Sarah. Sarah, you're late. Hello, Rusty. My God, Rusty Reporter, my old mate. One theory I thought about is some items somehow are more magnetic to spiritual energy, and the other flow of local ley lines, yeah, can intensify objects with connected energies. Be safe, take care. He comes in and goes. Lazy came in and said hello. Well, kind of. I miss my old Rusty on here, actually. I know he won't come on any live streams because, like, hello, Bev. How you doing, girl? Thank you for that earlier, yeah. I really, really do appreciate that. I'm not going to tell anyone, yeah, because that's looks secret. But, you know, when it gets here, I'll probably let them know. But thank you. You didn't need to do that. And yeah, if you can get down at any time, I'll take you to a couple of locations. You know, like there's the Mitcham Common where, you know, you got the Hangman's Tree, where I've had like EVPs and all activity. Even when Simon James was there, you know, he said on like when the Ghostbox was running, how do you end a prayer? And I was just about finishing the prayer, and just wanted to say amen. A vocal singing voice came for the Ghostbox going, amen. I can't do it, my throat's going dry. We went, amen, as I was actually closing it down. So you got the Hanging Tree. You had Leonard that died there nearly 100 years ago. There's supposed to be a tree which 2 lesbians hung themselves because like their parents didn't like their daughters having that kind of relationship. But that's just a story. You know, there weren't no real evidence that they did die. You know, I tried looking in newspapers and there's nothing in those newspapers. But another guy did die, and I know where he died. I actually spoke to him on the Ouija board. He died from an overdose, which he took because his wife died, and he couldn't be without his wife. And his wife had died like 6 months, and you know he was missing her crazy, so he just went over and ended his life. So when you know, Mitcham Common is a great place to go to do some investigating. The other place, Wimbledon Common, we had some pretty interesting stuff over there. I still want to get Aaron up here to do the windmill. Me and Simon's done it, and we didn't get much there, but it doesn't mean like it's not spiritually active, because you know we did get all activity and we got a couple of little bits on EVP and ghost box, but I suppose it depends on the terms, you know, like the conditions of the weather, the atmospherics, you know, whether the spirits want to come out and talk. Oh yeah, I take you magnet fishing. I've got a couple of magnets. You can use one of my magnets. Take magnet fishing and metal detecting. I've got 2 metal detectors. But yeah, I've got something that's going to be coming soon. And I can only thank one person, you know, great person. Oh yeah, you know, me and Simon, you know, even Aaron, we've done all-nighters. You know, we come home. When Aaron comes here, we'll grab a couple of hours during the daytime. And then, like, it depends on what time it gets dark, you know. When it's getting dark about 7, 8 o'clock at night, we'd actually go to sleep, you know. Well, Aaron will be in the living room on the settee. I'll be in here, kind of like sleeping. We'll set the alarm. You know, we'll have all our gear ready. And when the alarm goes off, we'll get up. Might have a quick cup of coffee, grab our stuff, then we're out. And we'll be out practically all night, you know, kind of thing. So when Simon James came down, did the same thing. We was out all night, especially over Mitcham Common. We had the blast of a time over there. We got so much activity over there, it was crazy. And I've always said, right, I don't know why people don't do woods, commons, parks. No, people have died there. Doesn't mean it's the people that, you know, within the last 10, 20 years may have died there, and you might be getting activity from there. Thousands of people gone there, you know. Woods, you know, Jordan's Wood. Christ, we had like, we went there 3 times. No, twice, sorry, 2 times. And both times I've actually got video evidence of moving apparitions there. I even phoned up the Forestry Commission, found out who owns the woods. When I told them the story, they said, well, if you can send us the link, we'll look at it. And, you know, we might put it in our magazine. I thought, yeah, that'd be cool. But they never did. Now, I actually spoke to the Forestry Commission about 2-3 weeks ago because I wanted to get permission to go there milk detecting. And I said, well, sorry, we don't allow milk detecting. So I said, all right, well, fair enough. I said, before I go, I just want to ask you one thing here. I've done some ghost hunting with my nephews, and, you know, I caught, like, which I believe, spirits in the woods, you know, live apparitions. And the guy, really? I said, yeah. I said, when I spoke to the Voice Commission, they said they'd probably put it in the magazine, but they didn't. You know why? And he said, well, there could be 2 reasons. 1, they may have forgot, or 2, they probably looked at it and thought, well, we can't use that because it might stop people going to Jordan's Wood because they might be too scared to. And I said, yeah, but that's at night time. It doesn't matter. You know, they weren't willing to put something up on their website thinking it might scare people away from their woods. So I said to Aaron, if I go down again, which I hope to do soon, I want to go back to Jordan's Wood and do another part. Because, you know, Jordan's Wood is quite a big, like, well, to me, it's like a forest. It's not like the big forests that you get in America, but it's big, you know, it's quite big. And I reckon if I got, you know, activity in that location twice, because we went to the same location practically, and twice we got, you know, apparitions, 2 sets of apparitions on each attempt, you know, kind of thing. I want to go back there and do a different section and see if we get more activity in a new part of the forest woods. And that's just like, you know, we didn't even plan it. I just said, right, let's go up there. Let's see what we get. And, you know, with me, when I do videos, I don't sit there and watch them when I upload them. And it's niggling me. I don't know why, but, you know, after 6 months of after uploading the first video, no, 6 weeks, I mean, not 6 months, about 6 weeks after uploading the video, I kept getting a little voice in my head saying, watch that video, watch that video, watch that video. And I thought I was just going like crazy or something, you know. And I didn't bother watching it. And, you know, for nearly 2 weeks, I kept getting that voice in my head saying, watch that video, watch that video, watch that video. So I thought, fuck it, I'll watch the video. And within like the first half hour, 45 minutes, what I saw was, well, me. You know, you could see something moving in the bushes. And there weren't no one there, just me, Aaron, and Warren, my 2 nephews. And they were behind me. And then, like, I thought that was it. And then, like, about another week, 2 weeks later, I'm getting that same voice. Keep watching it, keep watching it. Watch after you've seen the first one. Within minutes, you'll see another. And I thought I was like going crazy, but I watched it. And minutes after seeing the first apparition, there was a second one. And it was like a monk kind of thing, yeah. And like, whoa, you know. So I had to go down there and do a second night visit. And again, no, I didn't watch the video. It's that same voice in my head. You gotta watch that video. Watch the second video. And I watched it, and we had to call another 2 apparitions. So 4 apparitions in Jordan's Wood in 2 visits. Crazy. The other place I've been to is Puckley Forest, Puckley Woods. First time I only got an EVP. Like, you know, I was pretending that we lost. I went, hey, spirits, we lost. Where are we? And I got an EVP saying, Puckley. That's crazy. And then, like, the second time went down here, just panning my camera around. You know, I wasn't even looking. I was trying to find out what Pete was doing. And my face was facing like that way to the right. I was just panning my camera around. And this time I did watch the video. And you can see like something come out from one tree, walks to another tree, it goes behind a tree and disappears. It doesn't come out. So you don't see it walking to a tree and then going round a tree to the next tree. It actually comes out from behind a tree, walks to a tree, goes behind it, and that's it. It doesn't come out. So that's crazy. But the places I'll take you to would be Mitcham Common and Wimbledon Common. So they're the most 2 active places I've been to. And Jordan's Wood. That's another place I'll probably take you to. Because it's down where my sisters and my nephews live. And I'm pretty sure they're interested. They'll come on and do a session with us. Because Warren knows the woods more than anyone else does. Because him and his mum is always going up there with little Jack. So if I said to him, we're going to go down here, I'm pretty sure he'd be willing to take us up there and do a session with us. And maybe Aaron might come up and do a session if he ain't too lazy to, or he's filling up to it. So, like, the only place there ain't really a lot of places you can go to. Like, there's the Festival Hill, but you got to, like, get permission and you got to pay for it. And they only do, like, possibly one haunted kind of like session a year, you know, if that even. So as you know, I don't have a car, so it's hard for me to find places. But I find that, you know, if you go to local places, you know, around yourself, you know, you're going to get some kind of like spiritual activity. You know, there's going to be ghosts everywhere. You know, how many people died within like, you know, the last 10,000, 20,000 years, you know, kind of thing, you know, AB, what was it, AB? before Christ and after Christ, you know, thousands and thousands of years old, you know. And Abby told me that I probably might even communicate with Romans and Saxons, you know, kind of thing. It is that possibility that he could communicate with them, but said you'll probably talk to people from the 16th, 17th century rather than like, you know, Romans and stuff like that. But I reckon, like, you know, any place you go to, there's going to be some kind of spiritual activity. You may not think it, but you walk around with a EVP recorder and a K2 meter. Something's got to generate enough energy to manipulate the K2. And, you know, if you're hearing voices on an EVP recorder and there's no one around, where are these voices coming from? And that's what happened when I first started doing Mitchell & Common. I just went over there with a K2 meter. Didn't do no research. I took an EVP recorder. Any spirits around, you know, want to come and talk to me, you know, let us know. K2 started going crazy, getting the EVPs as a little boy. I even heard like a male EVP. And I thought, whoa, you know, and I played it back and it was crazy. So then I started doing some research on Mitchell & Common and I found out little Leonard died. So I went over there and I started trying to communicate with Leonard. And I did get communication with him. I got his name. I got a little boy talking to me. You know, we got so much crap over there. It's unbelievable. It's just crazy. But they're the two best places, Mitchell & Common and Wimbledon Common. We did do Stratton Common. We didn't get much there. We got like, it looked like a mist of a figure walking actually through the tennis court fencing, which I don't understand because you can see this like figure walk through the fence, walk down, and goes out the gate, which was open. Now, the reason I say I can't understand it because, you know, why cut through the fence and walk down and go out when he could just walk around it? Maybe there might have been some kind of pathway there, you know, years and years ago before they put the tennis court there, and they've covered over the pathway, and someone might have died, and you're getting that residual spiritual energy, like a recording going, you know, across that pathway that may have been there. Because if you think about it, you could have a forest or a common which may have had so many different pathways, but over time, because they're not being used, you know, you got all that dirt and dust, you know, you got all those trees, you know, which birds have been picking up seeds and dropping, and a lot of the pathways have been covered and you can't see them anymore. But there could have been pathways going across there, and that's probably what might have been there when that spirit walked across. So that, I believe, is haunted, but I don't think it's haunted as more than Mitchell & Common or Wimbledon Common is. But I know Jordan's Wood is definitely bloody haunted. You know, in one of those apparitions, the second time I got it right, and, you know, I'm being honest with you, you know, I'm not lying to you. I always swear on the Bible on this. When I put the second video up, I took a clip off of the small, kind of stocky apparition we call, yeah, and I posted that link on my Facebook. I got a message within half an hour from my old mate David, who died in his sleep coughing up blood like 30 years ago. His son, Dominic, saw that video and he goes, "Steve, you're fucking amazing." I said, "What?" He goes, "I think that's the spirit of my dad." I said, "Yeah, but I went to your dad's funeral. Did we not bury him?" "No, we cremated him, if you remember." I couldn't remember. But what they did was that they got his cremations and they scattered it in Jordan's Wood, which I did not know. And Dominic goes, "That location is exact location where we kind of like spread his ashes out." I said, "Yeah, but It was dark. He goes, Stephen, I'm telling you, that is the location where we spread David's ashes at. And I believe that it was him trying to show himself or trying to communicate with you that night. And he goes, that's one of the amazing videos I've seen. I thought, well, okay. And that kind of shocked me because I didn't know, like, David's ashes were actually scattered there. When we was younger kids, me and David used to go up there and we used to, like, do what kids used to do, like build little camps, have a little bonfire or something and, like, just hang out and take our little spud guns, and shoot things, and, like, Dominic said, that used to be one of his best favourite places, Jordan's Wood. That's why we scattered his ashes, and I believe that you saw David. I thought, wow, just if that was him, that's crazy. Maybe he was trying to show himself. And that's on video, kind of thing. But I'd love to go back to Jordan's Wood. We tried Dartford Heath. That's a blowout. And people have been to Dartford Heath and they got activity apparently, but we never did. But Bexley Hospital, although it's been knocked down, the asylum house and a big a big residential estate's been built on it, you still got the fields where patients used to, like, escape and roam. We done that 12 times, me, Aaron, Simon and Warren. And the activity we got there was crazy, crazy arse. Misshaped figures, flashing lights, EVPs, devices going crazy. We had to keep doing that. We did that 12 times and we kept it as a secret location. And then, like, on the 12th session we went there, I said, what I'm going to do is let people know where we've been. And hopefully we might see other people go down there and do investigations. I haven't seen anyone go down there since we've been there. And we had a hell of a lot of, like, stuff coming through. Now just look at my, just do a Google search, Jordan's Wood, Bexley Hospital, secret location. If you put it secret location, then that's the ones you'll probably get to see. We had crazy stuff going on. There was a time when we went down there, I can't remember what one it was. It was hot. It was a hot night. And we still had to wear something warmer, even though it was a hot night, because we knew the temperature was going to drop. And yeah, it dropped. It dropped like so many degrees. It was like, you can see the steam coming out of our mouths when we're talking. And when we left that place and said goodbye to the spirits and thanked them, as soon as we'd done that, the temperature really rose quick and we had to take our hoodies off again because it started getting really nice and warm. I tell you, man, that Bexley Hospital grounds is definitely haunted. I guarantee you it is haunted, just like Jordan's Wood, just like Mitcham Common, just like Wimbledon Common. Crazy, man. All right, let's see what's going on in the chat. What kind of things do you experience at work? Been to the Forks in Scotland. I don't think I'd like to go there, but I don't know. Like, be a bit too creepy for me, actually, I think. No, recorders don't pick up radio frequencies that I've never ever known of. Like, the only time you're going to get, like, radio frequencies is when you've got an EVP next to a ghost box. Then yeah, it's going to pick it up, 100%. But if you just do an EVP out in the middle of nowhere and it's picking up, like, radio frequencies, then either your EVP recorder is, like, completely knackered and it's, like, picking up any kind of frequency, or something is interacting with your EVP recorder. I've never heard of anyone saying like, I'm picking up radio station on the EVP recorder when I haven't got a radio or there's no radios around. Unless it could be if you're near like a radio transmitter and you don't realise you're near a radio transmitter, then maybe that could possibly pick it up. But that's possible, 1 in a million chance, I reckon. Because it's like with a telephone, a mobile transmitter. I've got one just down the road. If I go down here with an EVP recorder and try it out, which I've not done, but it's probably an idea. I could put the recorder on and see if I pick up telephone conversations on mobile phones. And if I do pick them up, then I know that a telephone transmitter receiver possibly can interfere with an EVP recorder. The spirits will try to communicate with you in any way they can, through EVP, disembodied voices that I've had here a few times. I was in the kitchen one day, mucking around, wiggling my arse at the camera, trying to make a cup of coffee. And I didn't hear it at the time, but everyone, like when I came back, did you hear that, Steve? Or what? Did I hear what? Man, when you was wiggling your arse on the camera, we heard someone say in your face. I said, I don't think I heard it. Play back video now. And I played it back. And you can hear a male voice going, in your face. And it sounded a bit like my dad's voice, actually. So, like, I've had disembodied voices. I've had, like, crying. I've had, like, little murmurs, grumbles, grunts, all that kind of stuff I've had in here. And the weirdest thing is, like, people say, don't it scare you? Well, no, that's, if you show the fear, which they keep saying, spirits need fear to interact, give that, like, interaction, to show that they are there, to give the evidence. But I'm one who can't really give out the fear unless, something appears in front of me or something gets chucked at me. Like last night, the only thing that happened last night was I was just about to kind of go to sleep, and I had one of my little DC boxes up there on the table. This one was up here beside me, and it's just leaning against a little portable speaker. And I sat on the bed, and just as I sat on the bed, it went flying and back. I didn't see it go flying. It just like went flying, and like the sound it made on the floor, bang, scared the shit out of me. I thought, fucking hell, I'm having a heart attack here. I went, thank you whoever fucking done it, And I've still not seen the video. Like, I've got to play back the video. It happened at 2:00 last night, which was Monday night, wasn't it? It's Wednesday now, isn't it? Tuesday morning. So it happened Tuesday morning at 2:00. So I've got to play that back. I keep saying I've got to do it, and I keep forgetting to do it. And that's the activity that I want, Bev. That seriously is the activity I want. I want that. I want to see things move. I know it's going to scare the shit out of me, and I'll probably be jumping out the window or going through the door instead of out the door. If I can catch that stuff, that's pure evidence that something here is interacting with me and either trying to scare the hell out of me or just saying, look, I am here, Like, let's say, like, let's get the camera down. So like with down here, right, let's say with Chester, let's put his hands down here. If I'm sitting here, you know, and I'm not, if I'm watching or not watching, yeah, and you see his arm move up like that, that is crazy. That is going to like scare the fuck out of me. But that's the kind of evidence I want. You know, or the pen suddenly start rising up, you know, by itself. Or my packet of polos just turning around slightly, or just being pushed off the table. No, I want to see that kind of stuff. Yeah, I'll probably be scared and thinking, hell, you know, do I really want it? Well, yeah, I want it because I want to prove to people that spirits do exist and they can use the energy to manipulate things to make a move. Like that black apparition in the living room after we done those murder mystery and unsolved cases. You know, we did Alicia Lamb, we did Sandra Bland, and the Black Dahlia. Now, I was told it's one of them that actually manifested in my living room. The thing was that just as I started to do the stream, all my cameras went off, every one of them, the DVR and the Wi-Fi ones, which I was using. Now, as I came back on, I saw something appear just for a second, maybe a second and a half, in my camera. It's like a black, thick, misty fog. I thought, what the fuck? And at the time, Michelle and Rose was there. And Misha said, what? I said, hang on a minute, hang on. I said, something just happened. I said, all my cameras went offline. She goes, oh no. I said, yeah, hang on a minute. All my cameras went offline. And as I came back on, I saw something big and black in my living room. I've got to sit there. I've got to try to see, you know, if it's on video. Now, the weirdest thing, right, my camera was facing the big screen TV, right, where I sometimes have my DVR cameras on the big screen, and my Xbox is usually on the big screen as well. And my TV actually had the cameras all showing on the big screen, and I had the camera, the webcam, facing that screen. Now, I checked the two static cameras, video, didn't see it on there. I checked the Wi-Fi one, which it picked up, but it wasn't actually recorded on the actual memory card, because when it went offline and came back up, it didn't save it. And I'm thinking, well, where that is, I've got no proof. But then I thought, hang on a minute, let me check something else. And I played back the YouTube video while still streaming, and I just rewound it to roughly where it happened, and it actually got picked up through YouTube. I thought, whoa. And I'm playing it back, and everyone's like, whoa, fucking hell, Steve, like, you know, crazy, magnificent, you know, kind of thing. Now, at the time, I was friendly with, like, Pumpkinhead Paranormal. He did a frame by frame of the actual video. He was able to get the video off the file, because he downloaded the video, and then he zoomed up to the screen, because on the screen it had like 8, 9, 10, 12 cameras in all. So what he done, he zoomed up to the top camera where it was, and he grabbed it, and he done a frame by frame. And I'm swearing on my life right now, this is what he said. And I thought I had the video, but I thought I downloaded it, but I didn't. Unless it was on one of my hard drives that got corrupted and I lost everything. I lost 2 hard drives, which were a terabyte each, the paranormal stuff. Both of them just corrupted. Lost hundreds and hundreds of files. But what he did a frame by frame. First frame was like a mist. Second frame was like a thicker mist. Third frame looked like a great big blob of thick fog. Then next frame, that fog suddenly starts turning into like a human shape. Then the next one, it was a human shape. And you can see from the neck below, and the next frame looked like you could see the two arms and the leg, and one of the legs was actually like moving as if it's strolling across the living room. And then the next frame, it started going back to that big, thick, kind of like mist fog. Then it kind of just went into a mist and then disappears. So he had like about 8 kind of like frames where it starts off like a little mist to a full blown apparition, back to a mist again. And it only lasts like a second, maybe a second and a half. Because I did like, grab frame by frame. The only reason why we didn't get to see the head is because when the camera shut down, it was the Wi-Fi one, yeah? Now, the Wi-Fi one would have actually had the whole room. But when it shut down and came back up, it set itself back to default. And when it set itself back to default, it didn't have the actual full living room. It kind of like had 3/4 of the living room. That's why we didn't capture the head. We only caught from the neck all the way down to like past the knees. And you can actually see it strolling. Now that, did scare the fuck out of me. It really scared me. I'm thinking, what have I conjured up? What was that? But within like hours, I'm thinking, hey, why should I be afraid of that? No, it didn't come in here. It didn't interact with me. That's the kind of shit I wanted, and I got it. Now, it hasn't made me famous. It hasn't made me make fortune. But, I caught it. And people were amazed, not many people, but some people were amazed. Some people thought it's like, fakes and like, video editing. But no, that was real. That happened. And then the white one in the kitchen, I'm just like sitting there. I can't remember if I was streaming or not. And something caught my eye on the DVR camera in the kitchen. And I stopped it and I rewound it. And an orb came from the microwave, shot across the kitchen to where the cooker is. And instead of like just like going through the wall or like disappearing, a white light shot upwards from that orb. And I thought, what the fuck? So I done a frame by frame. I was able to slow it down. And on the actual bit where I stopped it, it looked like either a child size kind of like apparition or something like an angelic kind of like angel spirit. And that's on my YouTube. So like, I've caught some fucking amazing stuff here. And like, over the last 2 years, I've not caught hardly anything, I think, come on, Spirit, start fucking giving me that activity again, I know you don't like me saying that, I'm asking you to do this, and, like I said, like many, many times, I don't want the spirits making it look like it's a circus. I'm not trying to make them come out and perform tricks. I don't want them doing things they don't want to do. No, but if they do it and I capture it, it's crazy. I've had orbs apparitions. I've had partial apparitions, like an arm coming past my head. I've had one where it looks like a foot coming through, like just over there and jumping on the bed and then like going through the bloody brick wall. I've had a few good things. And I just can't understand why, I'm not on some kind of like TV show, No one's like bothered like watching my stuff, and it's all real, 100% real. None of it's faked, none of it's video editing. If I had the actual files on a memory card and someone said to me like, I want that, they could even download the video. There's software out there where they can actually rip that video file to shreds. You've got like certain things that can actually see if there's any like wires or string or some kind of editing done. I don't do that shit. Everything you see here is raw. 100% true live videoing. And, if people want to use that to like document it and use it, then great, I'm okay with that. If I get on a TV show, that's even better, kind of thing, get that little bit of fame. But that's not happened to me. Maybe it's not meant to happen to me. Maybe it's only meant to happen for me to show certain people who come to watch. I mean, some of the people who watch it can't understand, but some of them can't believe that it's happening, because it's just like amazing. It's kind of like, whoa, did we really see that? And as I say, sometimes, hang on a minute. Hang on. Playback, video playback. Admin. What camera is that? 7. Video playback. 5 minute. Camera 7. Just my imagination, I think. But I thought I just saw something white go across my hallway. Whoa, there's an orb there. Big orb, I think. Yeah, there's an orb there. All right. Now this guy a bit. Oh. Hang on a minute. Right. Hang on a minute, guys. Right, just watch this, right? Watch in this area here. Just over this area, right? Ignore that little console. I might have to rewind a little bit more because there, see it there. Just here. Watch it. There. Hang on, let me stop that. Let me escape. Playback. 5 minutes. So watch in this area right here. You can see like an orb. Oh, I knew I saw something. But to me, I thought I saw something completely different. I thought I saw like a white figure. I'll go back further now. Not sure what it was now. My back's gone really cold. Can't see it now. Weird. I'll go further back. is right in this corner. There. It's right here. Watch it again. Just keep your eyes on this area right here. It's not that big. There. Came out right here. That's where it was. So it's right here. Wait a minute now. There. Crazy. So I'm actually getting a little bit of activity still. Like last night, I was getting a lot of orb activity in the living room on camera 3, but I can't do camera 3 because it's like gone down on me. I've actually ordered a new cable for it. I think it's the cable that's gone. Because when I went in there and covered the camera up, the LEDs, the IR lights lit up. So it ain't the camera, it's the actual lead, which I've ordered. Now, I was getting a few like orb activity in the kitchen as well the other night. And also in the hallway, I was getting a couple last night as well. So, you know, I do still get orb activity, but it's not like the activity like I used to get, you know, like the partial manifestations. You know, I do hear noises in here because it feels like they're in here protecting me, keeping an eye on me, making sure no harm comes to me. So I do like hear noises like little knocks, taps. Sometimes I might hear the like little footstep, which I can't understand because it's got carpet in, but I hear like a little movement in here. You know, I feel sometimes like a touch on my arm or, you know, my feet getting cold. It's just I'm like playing around with my feet or sitting near my feet. Ham radios can actually bring through like very quiet signals of radio stations. So I used to have a CB radio when I was younger, and you know, if you turn it onto a small channel which ain't being used, you could actually still hear sometimes a faint voice coming through, and it's just a weak signal. That's what it was. But people are actually using like different kind of like radios to try and see if like spirits can come through them, like, you know, using like AM and FM. Some people use shortwave. Some people use CB radios and like just flick through quickly. Some use like the scanning radios where you can scan through different frequencies. They use that. So they are trying different techniques. People are actually building their own ghost boxes as well. So yeah, I won't be surprised you do hear something through a frequency. What's that? Posted. Oh yeah, that's the one. Yeah. Thank you for that, Ian. If you look on that top screen, you'll see what I'm talking about on that link Ian posted. Definitely something there. You know, you can see me sitting there. It starts off 18 seconds into the video. And when the camera comes back on, it takes a few seconds, and then suddenly you see this great big black apparition, which I was able to actually freeze frame there and then on that video, because like this video is the clip from what I caught. So if you check that video, you know, you can see that it's definitely 100% like a figure walking in my living room. And then so that scared the hell out of me. But after a few hours, I'm thinking, no, why should that scare me? You know, that's the kind of shit I want. That's the evidence. Like, you know, people would turn around and say, oh, it's like video and it's bullshit, you know. Let them think that. I know it won't. That happened. You know, only wrong fucking, like, I'm not asking for fame and fortune. You know, if I get fame and fortune out of it, like, my fault, is it? Rick Hastings. Who's Rick Hastings? My name is Rick. Ran across your YouTube channel and enjoyed the content. Grabbed a few frames from last night from your stream. Wow. Holy crap. When you were sleeping and processed a few frames, there appear to be faces. I processed the frames in Photoshop to bring out their features due to the quality being rather flat. The colour was added to highlight the face. Now, this was last night, right, when I was sleeping. Someone came on my channel, and look, I need to go back to my normal YouTube. Hold on a minute. Right. Oh, crap, hang on. Look here. You got this big face here. You can see the eye, nose, mouth, and the chin there. Right. Look here, though. That looks like a female. Right, kind of like curly hair. See the face, the shoulders, the arm. Probably wearing a white skirt or something. You know, if you actually... Like there, he said there's some... I can't really see much on that one, but there is like a face there. That looks like that one. He's probably like try to use different filters. Now with that one there, you can still see roughly around about the same thing. But that one, you know, you got several little faces there. You got an eye there, you got an eye there, a nose. Looks like a thick black moustache, a chin there. My back is getting really cold. So I think that might be a possibly fit. Just behind that head there, you can see like another little head here. So, you know, the good thing is, you can actually sometimes capture some really good spiritual images through pixelization. And I feel like they do use pixelization to show themselves in camera, you know, on video. And they don't realise that. And if they do, they want to do it because they want to be seen. Fucking it was 320. I've been to God knows how many graveyards. Hello, Blaze, how's it going? I just can't, like, you know, I'm grateful for the stuff I've got. But I don't think that's it. You know, I want more. And people say, well, like, you know, you should be grateful for what you got. Yeah, maybe I should be grateful, but I still want more. I want something, like, amazing. I'm not saying that they're not amazing. You know, that black apparition is amazing enough. The one in the kitchen, the white one, was amazing. You know, some of the partial apparitions I've had, it's amazing. Some of the the things that have fallen down and moved and been thrown at me have been amazing. But I want something extra. I want to be sitting here one night and an apparition appearing behind me. That would be so crazy. You know, I would probably be shitting my pants. I'll probably be trying to run out the door or jumping out the window. I won't even open the window. I'll be just going straight for the window. I'll probably end up dead, but, you know, if I survive, then I can turn around and say, hey, you know, now, you tell me that was faked. You know, seeing a full-blown apparition appear next to me. You know, what would you guys do? You know, you saw a full-blown apparition. I bet you would be cacking yourself. I bet you'll be running to the bathroom, you know, like grabbing the bulk bowl or something, you know. So I'll tell you one thing, if that happens to me, I'll be changing my underpants. I'm pretty sure of it, because, like, anyone would probably shit themselves if a full-blown apparition appeared beside them or behind them. You know, like, I could be sitting here watching TV and one might appear and I wouldn't know about it unless, like, you know, my peripheral eye actually kind of like draw to the actual DVR camera and I see it there. And I'm going to go like that, and time I turn around, it could be gone. You know, or it might still be there. You know, it might actually want to sit there and talk to me. You know, can you just imagine in real life, you know, you're saying, oh, I wish the spirit would come through and talk to me and I have a conversation, and it really happened. Live, streaming. You know, what would you put in the title? Because you'd have to, like, rename the title, Real Ghost Appears, have conversation. You know, and people going, like the bollocks, you know, and they're going to, like, click on your stream and thinking, is that real? That's going to go viral, I tell you. And people are going to, like, pick at it. You know, they're going to say, nah, that's faked. You know, to sit there and talk to a ghost. No, I probably won't be talking to a ghost. I'll be fucking flying through the door, you know. And people will probably be thinking, what a sad loser. I'll be sitting there talking to a ghost. I don't know what happened, you know. It'll be one hell of a crazy thing for a ghost to appear and say, hey, Stu, let's talk. You know, and I'll, you know, fuck that. No, could you just imagine me sitting there talking to a ghost? It won't never happen. You know, it'll be 1 in a million chance, like win the lottery or something, you know. Win the paranormal lottery of, like, sitting there talking to a ghost, and the person, like, you know, isn't like full blown apparition. You can see, like, kind of through them slightly, you know. Talking shit, I know, but that'd be crazy though. That would be fucking crazy. You know, I think the thing I would like most to actually capture something on camera, like poltergeist kind of stuff, yeah. Now, I've had some bits and pieces where, like, you know, something's moved or my mouse from a DVR's been picked up and thrown at me. And it's been caught on video and people seen it and saying, wow, you know, that's crazy. But I really want to have the camera facing something. I'm saying, right, this spirit, come on, you know, move that object, and it just moves suddenly, you know, and you can see me sitting here with my hands crossed, you know, and you can see that I'm not in any way faking it or, like, using a piece of string or fishing wire, because I'd never do that. But just think, you know, if that ever happened and something did move, people are going to, like, disbelieve it. They're going to turn around and say, that didn't happen, you know, that's video editing, or he's got string, you know, he's got, like, fishing wire or something, like, you know, attached to it. You know, although you can see my hands, well, he could have had it tied to his feet, you know. And, like, if a real person is a real believer and they took that video down off my YouTube channel and went through that, you know, with fine tooth comb, and they see that there's nothing on that, you know, attached to it, and they can see it moving, on kind of like direct response. You're going to get believers and you're going to get like disbelievers. You're going to put people have opinions saying it's fake, and you're going to get people saying, no, that ain't fake. That's 100%, real kind of thing. It's like the black apparition in Living. That's real. And I think what caused that was that because of the murder mysteries and unsolved cases we were doing, we had done at least like half a dozen. And when we're trying to communicate spirits, we were actually generating a lot of energy. And maybe like one of those spirits that we did communicate with was able to like manifest themselves with the energy that we created. That is a possibility. It's like, as I said earlier with a poltergeist, if you are building up enough energy inside your system, with hate, anger, depression, stress, anxiety, and it builds up to that extent, that could be released at any time, and you're generating your own poltergeist activity without even knowing it, and you're thinking that your house is haunted. Well, it is haunted because you're generating the haunting yourself. You could be sitting here, you release that energy, and you think you've heard something move, and you're saying that moved, and as you turn around, you're seeing it moving because you're actually generating that energy to make it move. So, and I really do believe that spirits are real. If anyone was to get the real pure evidence that ghosts exist, the government would be like around your door, taking everything that you've got as proof, and like saying, right, if you try to prove that ghosts are real and that there are portals that they come through, and you got proof of a portal opening, they're gonna like slap you inside, because they're gonna be too afraid for you to let that out, because it's probably gonna scare a lot of people as well, and they would try to hide that, and they would try to like research how you've done that, to open a portal. A portal is another dimension, isn't it, I suppose. They might use that to try to fucking send like, military to another dimension, see what's on there, Government do anything. And there has been talk about that actually, where people said, well, like, what if someone is able to prove that, you can open a dimension through technology or through fault waves or something like that, and the government like sees it, and they come around and like arrest you and question you left, right, and centre. They find out how you done it, and they use you as a tool to open that dimension. You won't be seen again. You'll be locked away, and they'll be using you to do their dirty work, kind of thing. And yeah, I probably am talking bullshit, but you just don't know. No, if someone was to invent something, there are places out there in this world where they've got things locked up from the public because they don't want us to know about it. There probably is like technology out there that can like do warp speed, create some kind of like in a dimension or something, or they might have the real coven. They might have all this weird stuff that people have heard about and think it's lost and forgotten, but the government's got it locked away, hidden. You know what I mean? Go away, fly. What happens if I kill that fly? Will that come back as a ghost? Will it haunt me, buzz around me at night time continuously? Don't know. I used to be Blue Thunder on the old CB radio when I was younger. I used to talk to a lot of people in Dartford and Bexley and Crayford. Dartford, Bexley, Croydon. I keep saying Croydon. Dartford, Bexley, Crayford, and Swanley, and on the A2. Hey man, I used to have, I seriously tell you, right, I had a portable CB, right, and I stuck it on my push bike, and the only thing I needed was power. I stuck a car battery on the back of my push bike on one of these holders, and I connected like that to my CB radio, because the CB radio was like a portable one with its own antenna. And I used to cycle across onto the A2 footbridge, and I'll be sitting there going, breaker 19, anyone out there? Any breakers on the A2 coming through the old Dartford turnoff? Have you got an eyeball on Blue Thunder on the bridge? And I used to get, yeah, break, see ya. And like, you know, you get the old truckers tune, and eyeball. You swear right laugh. Fucking crazy that was. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that, you know, if a spirit was able to communicate through any kind of like radio, they could do. Now, this is supposed to be a true story, right? And I think it was documented on a TV show. A guy lived out in the wilderness, right? And the story goes that no one had heard or seen of this guy for quite a while, you know, not even his family. And they didn't know roughly where he was until one day someone was sitting there on the CB radio, and they got this message from this person coming through saying, can you help me? I need help. I've fallen and I need help. And they're trying to communicate with the person, right, and asking where he was. But every time they tried to ask where he was, it just like closed down, you know, no more signal. And at first it was like a weak signal, but it started getting stronger and stronger. But every time I asked where he was, it just like cut off there. So I contacted the authorities, and they was able to somehow trace where the signal was coming from. Now the signal, this message, which was coming through, I believe, a ham radio, right? Seriously, this is a true story. The signal was coming through a ham radio, and it had been coming through for about a week, right? Same voice, different tone, because at first it was like a low tone, then started getting stronger. And, you know, this guy who was trying to communicate with him was getting really concerned. So he contacted the authorities, and the authorities were able to like somehow track where the signal was coming from. And it's in like this deep forest in America somewhere. Well, they sent like a rescue service and the police and like this tracking thing to, you know, like track where the signal was coming from. And they got there, and they opened the door, and they found this man laying there dead, all right, next to his CB radio. Now, what had happened is that he had a fall, and he like bashed his head, and it was like had been bleeding really badly. And the story goes that what must have happened is that before he died, he tried to send a signal out to try to get someone to come and help him. And as he died, you know, the signal stopped. And the coroner reckons that that body had been sitting there for a week. And it was kind of weird that the signal had been going for a week. So what the story is saying is that when the guy died, the signal, you know, was still going somehow. The signal was still continuing through the ham radio frequencies for a week after he died. And when they actually found him, the signal never got transmitted again. So, you know, I'm pretty sure that they are able to find a way of like communicating through CB radio, ham radio, whatever. And that was meant to be a very true story. And like once they actually found him, they contacted his family and told them what had happened. And I don't know what happened to the radio. I don't know if the family went and took the radio or what, but I don't even know what happened to the cabin. Maybe it's still there. Maybe his spirit still roams the cabin. But they never heard the signal from the ham radio again after his body was found. So what the story is saying is that after he died, he didn't realise he was dead, and he was still trying to get that help he wanted. But the help never came, and when it did come, that was it. My dad had Hillman Hunter. We had a CB radio on a Hillman Hunter. My dad got into the CB radios, and we used to go and doing some like eyeballs and meeting up people. I even met a couple of my girlfriends through CB radio. Tracy was one of them. I think there was one called Don. I can't remember. But I went about, I wasn't that ugly, I wasn't that good looking. I don't even know if I still got any photos of me when I was younger, actually. Let me have a look. It might be on I might spell that wrong. I'm going to try to find a photo of me on our it's like our family page on Facebook. No, I wasn't an ugly kind of kid, and I wasn't that good looking kind of kid either, but if I can find one. Because I tried even asking some girls out, which I never got to go out with, but they went out with other kids, I thought, well, why am I getting the luck? Why am I not getting girlfriends? Well, I did eventually get a girlfriend for the CB, and I got another one. And that one you can't really see me because I'm holding my sister up, I think. Yeah, here's one when I'm actually sleeping. Can't remember how old I was there. That's when I used to live in Bexley. Fast asleep. I know there's other photos, but I can't fucking see them at the moment. My dad. My dad with his beard. He looked like Popeye when he was older. If he had a longer beard, he would have looked like the old guy from Kentucky. Yeah, there's one of me. Now, look, I wasn't that bad looking, really, was I? I had a bit of greasy hair at the time. But come on, I wasn't that bad looking, was I? No, I was about 16, 17 then, I think. Certainly in my early teens. My dad with his Hillman Hunter, I think it was. He had a couple of different cars, actually. Dad in the army. Hey, look, this was, I didn't even realise this until I saw this the other day. One of my sisters had a doll, and doesn't that look a bit creepy? Well, that looked a bit creepy to me. I think that was one of the Christmas presents, and there's my dad, like, fast asleep. I think that was Christmas Eve. Try and find another one of me. It's when my dad was in hospital, he fell and banged his head, poor sod. No, look, that's how bad he fell. Sure, there's another picture of me here somewhere. No, that's it. I know my daughter's got some, but I ain't going to go through my daughter's Facebook. She's got too many photos of the family on there. She actually started doing the family tree on our family. Oh no! Well, the computers came out. I had the first ever Commodore PC, which cost me £500. It was an 808 processor with one single 5 1/4 floppy drive. That cost me £500 when it first came out. And later, it came out with, they actually made a hard drive for it, which was like 1 gig, I think it was, something crazy for like under 50 quid. And I had to get that and put it in there. But I bought the first ever Commodore PC, which I say was about £500. Then I started updating it. I bought Commodore 64 game consoles, and I had so many different computers when I was younger. I had different Atari, Spectrums, Amstrads, BBCs, Acorn, all the different Commodore 64s. I even had the Commodore 64 SX. I had 2 of those. And a lot of them I had to either throw away or give them away, because when I got married, my ex, when I got married, my wife didn't want them there. It's cluttering up too much. Although we kept a couple of Commodore 64s because she loved playing Pac-Man on them. But I don't think my wife would ever get into the paranormal, although I think she did say that they believe that they saw her departed dad when they went to visit his grave in the Philippines. And I think they, every time they go, she goes to the Philippines, they do go and pay, like, their dead kind of like respect sometimes. And I think she's been there a couple of times. I went there once myself, but I wasn't in the paranormal and I didn't feel nothing. But, people said that they felt like kind of strange being there. Even some of the cemeteries I've been to, I've had the feeling that I've been watched, and I've, had communication with spirits through, ghost boxing, EVPs and stuff, but I've never really felt threatened there. When I first started doing cemetery work, it started raining, and I think it was autumn. All the leaves were off the trees. There weren't no leaves on the trees hardly anywhere. And it started raining, and for some reason, something told me to just go under this tree. So I went under this tree for no apparent reason. It had no leaves, and the rain was pissing down, but I wasn't getting wet. For some reason, I was being sheltered by a leafless tree, and all the surrounding, you could see it dark from the dark clouds, but where I was standing, it is still bright. It's like if someone, like an angel, had folded me over with their wings, and the rest of the place was getting soaking wet. You can see the rain everywhere, and I was like bone dry. Really weird. And that's when I got one of my first ever great EVPs of a little boy saying, "I like your bike." And I went to that cemetery a good couple of dozen times. And I found out the little boy's name. And I went back there to try to find, if there was any gravestones with that little boy's name. And where I caught the little boy's name, about 5 headstones just up the road, was the little boy's grave. I thought, whoa, was I meant to find that? What's the reason for me to find it, So yeah, I've had some crazy activity and crazy stuff happen in cemeteries. I took Simon to the Croydon one, so I know a back entrance, and we was able to do one half of the Croydon cemetery, and we heard something rustling in this bush. We didn't know what it was, so Simon goes to investigate, and whatever it was jumped out on him, and he kind of like screamed and went running. I'm kind of like laughing, going, "What's going on? Oh, funny, that scared the shit out of me." So, well, that's what we're here for, the paranormal. There wasn't nothing paranormal. That was something like animal, it weren't no fox or rabbit or something like that. It was like big and dark, and maybe it could have been a goblin. I don't know, but it scared the fuck out of him, I'll tell you. But yeah, like, we've seen shadows like darting around in cemeteries. Me and Aaron, when we've been doing Dartford, when my uncle Reggie and his son Kevin's buried in the same plot, on top of each other. We saw shadows darting around left, right, and centre, but we didn't feel like they were there to harm us. Because if they were, they would they would have harmed us, but they didn't. They was like keeping them a distance, and we were seeing like shadows and mist and whatever. I even done, Darth Cemetery in the snow with a broken leg, and that's on my video. And we're taking videos of it, and you see this great big white misty thing go past the actual camera. And I'm saying, "Did you see that? Did you see that?" That weren't us, like our cold breath, because that had like a certain movement. And when we were blowing, when we tried to debunk it, our cold breath went that way. Whatever went past that camera went that way. And it's kind of like, big humanoid kind of looking thing. Really crazy. But I'm going to try to do some more cemetery work. During the daytime. I can't really do much during the night time, because to be honest with you, doing it at night time on my own is kind of like stupid and dangerous, because like I might trip over a headstone or a brick or something, and I could like fall over and break my neck or seriously injure myself. No one should ever do a cemetery alone. And even if you don't fall over and injure yourself, there is a possibility that you could get spiritually attacked or even possessed, or take something home with you. When we do cemetery works, we always leave thanking the spirits, and we demand them to stay where they belong. They're not allowed to follow us home. And we do like a couple of closing prayers. We use holy water to protect ourselves, put the sign of the cross on our foreheads and at the back. We even sprinkle holy water when we leave, where the entrance is, to stop anything crossing over. We also like put blessed salt down as well. Aaron's only had one kind of like thing happen to him when we did Wilmington Cemetery. He felt like something attached to him, and he felt like really ill when he got home. But I'd actually given him some blessed water and salt. And I said, "What you need to do is do the Lord's Prayer. Do it a couple of times, 2 or 3 times. Put some holy water on yourself. Have a little swig of the holy water. use some blessed salt and see what happens. You know, if you still feel the same tomorrow, we're going to have to work on finding some way of getting that possible session off of you. But the next morning, he sent me a message on, "Hey, Steve, thanks, that worked. You know, I don't feel like I'm having that issue anymore." You know, he felt that he definitely had some kind of like attachment, but after what I told him, he felt perfectly okay, and he believed that the whatever was there attached to him is gone now. So, like, you know, there is possibilities that you can get something following you home and attaching yourself and making you ill. Like, you know, I've had the one where I worked in a charity shop, picked up a book, and I went violently ill within minutes of picking up the book. And it was a book on haunted locations and ghosts, and I still got the book. And I was violently ill for 2 days, you know, vomiting, diarrhea, throwing up, couldn't keep nothing down. I was just able to build up enough energy to go up to the local church and ask the vicar to, you know, do a blessing on me and remove any kind of like negative energies. And as soon as he was doing it, I started feeling better. And I believe, like, you know, that whatever he did removed whatever was attached to me. But I still felt like there was something might be attached to that book. So I asked him to bless some water. And I came home and I threw a lot of blessed water in the place I was living at the time, which was Hall Place in Mitcham, which is haunted. So, you know, like, I could have had like joint entities causing me that illness. But when I came home from that church, I threw holy water everywhere. I threw it on the book. I even said the prayers on the book. And within, like, doing what I did, within probably 20 minutes, the whole atmosphere changed. Because within them 2 days, it was dark, dismal, gloomy. You know, I knew there's a lot of negativity around. But after going to that church and getting that blessed water and doing what I did, you know, because the priest said, if you feel that there's negativity, you know, say the Lord's Prayer, you know, do a little house blessing if you feel like you need to do it. And that's what I did do. And within 20 minutes, the whole atmosphere completely changed. It felt a lot lighter, cleaner, peaceful. So, you know, I'd done my own house blessing. And now I knew that if I've done it once, I'm pretty sure I could do it on any location, you know, whether being residential, even here. And I've even done my own like cleansings here, recorded 1 or 2 of them. So if I feel that there's negativity around and I don't want that negativity around, I will sort it out. So, but anyway, I'm going to go. It's 4 o'clock. Thank you to everyone for being here watching. I have got crystals, you know, I've even got like these little bottles of crystals that I'm going to be giving away time to time. Little bottles of crystals. They're not actually being blessed, but you can actually like get them blessed. I think I might have done a prayer over them, but not like a proper blessing prayer. I just like said the Lord's Prayer over them, that's it. But I'm going to be giving some of those away on my giveaway. Let me just go to that video, hang on. Because I've got a giveaway, well, I've got a competition on Sunday. Oh, look, 5 thumbs up and 4 thumbs down on their dolls and Dybbuk boxes. Huh. Charles again. Let's go on there. All right, competition time. So if you want to be a part of the competition and you haven't, you know, done it, all you got to do is go there to my video and say, I want to win. Put that in the comment. I want to win. Then you put your thumbs up, share it, and that's all you got to do. Thumbs up, share, and put in a comment, I want to win. And there's 3 prize I'm going to be giving out Sunday. So if you haven't done it already, still got time. But anyway, thanks again for being here. Thank you to Bev for what she's done. Thank you to Leslie for the £5 donation. I did send you another PM through Facebook, by the way, Bev. So I'll keep the GoFundMe up for something else. So check that out. But yeah, appreciate that. And I'm gonna go get some sleep because I want to go out and just, because my sister, because my kids ain't coming around to visit me because my son's car hasn't passed its MOT. I can't come around there. So tomorrow or today, I'm gonna go and do some milk detecting. So I've not done no milk detecting for about a week. I've been doing magnet fishing and on land magnet fishing. Yes, on land magnet fishing with a new device I bought not long ago. It's like a magnet on wheels, that's all. And I'll go around picking up bottle caps and stuff like that at Clapham Common. I didn't think I had to get permission for it, but I did. And I can do the whole of Clapham Common, which is very big. It's probably like the size of about 20, maybe 30 football matches, different parts. The only thing is some of it's got really long grass, which I can't do until they cut it. But the ones which have been cut, especially the field, the part of the common near the tube station, I've been doing that, and I've been finding a hell of a lot of bottle caps there. In the last 2 visits, I've found like £5 in coins, and they were service fines. I heard a click, looked down, and the first time it was like £2, 5p, I think it was, and the other time, which was the other day, I found £2, 45p, because like the 5p clicked, and as I looked down, I could see the rest of it, and that's like £2, £4.45 in total. But I found other coins laying around, totally up to £5, and that paid for my travel. Right, so anyway, I'm gonna go, and I'll catch you whenever next. So take it easy, good night, catch you later. My God, 4 more hours at work. I feel sorry for you. If you are getting activity, try to do a video. I'd like to see some video. That'd be cool. Right. Anyway, catch you later. Good night, everyone. Definitely go now. Bye.